from Crazy in Love. The next recipe we're going to be doing is very exciting.
Yes, indeed, Sammy. Today we're going to visit south of France with a pie saladière. It's pretty much an onion and anchovy pie, big classic down south. It's super delicious. You have those caramelized onions with the anchovies, the thyme, the garlic, anything we like. Today we're going to do a Parmesan crust, so we're going to revisit a little bit differently than the actual recipe, so we can have this cheesy flavor under the onions. For the recipe, in the description you can find every single detail for the ingredients, so feel free to take a look if you want to reproduce the recipe. So for the first step, we're gonna start with the Parmigiano dough. We're gonna have 6 different elements in the dough. We're gonna have the flour, the salt, butter, Parmigiano, a dry white wine, and some water. That's it. So let's start with the flour and the salt. At first into the bowl. The Parmigiano. So I use a great Parmigiano. You can buy it already great. I grated myself. So if you want to grate yourself, that's up to you. After the butter, room temperature, really important. It needs to be soft. If you put the butter straight from the fridge, your dough will take hours until you get the right consistency. And I'm gonna add as well, to start, half of the white wine. The water. And let's get started. You're gonna need about 3 good minutes to have a good, nice dough. Add some flour on the table. We're just gonna work the dough a tiny bit with the hands. And after, I'm just gonna take some plastic wrap and I'm gonna put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes to have a little rest. So it's gonna be much easier to bake it after, to work it, because it won't be as elastic as now. Plastic wrap and in the fridge. While my dough is resting in the fridge, I'm gonna start my onion jam. So I'm gonna start cutting the garlic and after the onions, because I'm gonna infuse the garlic in the oil right before putting the onions and start cooking the actual jam. Now the onions and the garlic are cut, we can start cooking the jam. It's gonna take about 30 minutes, so it's better to start at the beginning with it. Let's go. I'm gonna use about 1 inch of canola oil. We need some fat, it's important. And straight after, the garlic. And now it's time to add a couple branches of thyme. Beautiful. Add the salt. We're gonna get the onions, the water of the onions off the onions. It's gonna help get this little jam cooking. After about 3 minutes, while the onions are been cooking, I'm gonna add some sugar. So when my sugar is brown is because I'm using a whole sugar, but you can use a regular sugar. It's totally fine. After about minutes, the sugar is in the pot. I'm gonna just add this dry white wine that we mentioned before, and the balsamic vinegar. And after that, we're just gonna let the jam cook for about 25 minutes. Don't go too fast with the stove, you might burn it. Just go medium and cook it for about 20 more minutes. While my onion jam is cooking, gently cooking, I'm gonna preheat my oven at 400 Fahrenheit. Now it's time to get back on the dough. It's been approximately 15 minutes, so it is ready to go. We're gonna spread it with a rolling pin and put it in the mold. You'll see on top of it, I'm gonna put a parchment paper and some garbanzo, dry garbanzo, to make sure that it remains flat, because I want a thin pie. Make sure the dough is not too thick. We don't want something too thick. It's really, really important. So take your time with the rolling pin. If you struggle, it's normal because it might be a little elastic because it's been resting only for 15 minutes. But you know what? I think it's gonna be okay. Just take your time. While you get about 1 inch of thickness, you'll be ready to go. As you could see, I use a fork to make sure that it doesn't puff too much. So you put some dots all over, and it won't proof too much. So that's really good. I'm using parchment paper, so you put it on top, and some dry garbanzo. As simple as that. Put it on top, and your pastry will remain nicely thin. Now it's time to get the pie into the oven, 400 Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Let's go! Now we're gonna have some swag to the pie. We're gonna cut some zucchini, roll it, and add some colors on it. It's gonna look really good. So now the jam is cooked. So I have some oil with my anchovies I'm gonna use in the recipe, and I'm just gonna add in the jam to get these fishy flavors into the onions. So with the anchovies, we call them boquerones. It's a type of anchovies that actually not dry, and salted and dry. It's a type of anchovies that we just marinated in oil, garlic, and parsley. It's fresh, it's good, it's bright, really love it. So we're just gonna keep the whole fillet, but we're gonna make sure that it's separated. And I'm gonna separate them on the plate here, because at the end, we're just gonna add them on the pie. So with the zucchini roll, I simply use the same oven as the pie. I cooked it for 10 minutes and just put it out. And as you can see, it's cooked and it looks super cool. So this is gonna end up at the center of the pie. You'll see when we're gonna start plating. Okay, after 25 minutes cooking, let's check if it's good. So let's look how the dough is. It's flat and cooked. We'll see. All right, perfect. So you can see the dough remain super flat. So I'm just gonna let it cool a little bit, and after we'll be able to start plating. After 5 minutes resting, we could see the dough is exactly as I wanted to. So now we're ready to plate. Let's go! So I'm gonna spread the onions all over the pie. I don't want to put too much, huh? Just about another inch of onions. The caramelized onions. There we go. So that looks good. Parfait. Shoot. After that, I'm gonna go with my lovely courgette roll. I'm gonna start it to, obviously without the toothpick, huh? Take off the toothpick. And we're just gonna place it right on the middle, like this, voila. And after, let's get the anchovies all around. Like this, evenly spread on the pie. So just to make it nice, I'll every other fish. There we go. There is traditionally no dill on the pizza saladière, but today we're just gonna make our own recipe to personalize it a little bit. Respectfully, obviously. There we go. A little pinch of cumin. There we go. Perfect.
Et voila! The pizza saladière. Let us know if you liked it, and if you want another taste, please subscribe. Bon appétit!